Good day, happy travelers. Seven Continents Travel Agency here today, talking about shore excursions at Isafjordur Iceland. So if you're watching this, you're one of two people. One, you are booked on a cruise, you want to see what the shore excursions are, or you're thinking about booking a cruise and you would also like to see what the shore excursions are. So the purpose of this is to show you the shore excursions. We'll talk about the cost, the departure time, the duration of the cruise, as well as any noted height, age, or weight limitations, as well as notes regarding mobility concerns. So with that, let's hop into the first one, which is surf and turf. Now, when I think of surf and turf, I'm thinking of shrimp and steak. I don't think that's what this shore excursion is about. It's $245 for an adult, $119 for kids, 3 hours and 15 minutes long, leaves at 8 in the morning. This is what you're going to see, a local turf farm, and then is there any surf? Not necessarily noted yet. There might be some sort of surf available. You'll see some landscapes, maybe some water. But you will eat some delicious waffle and homemade jam. And that is, you know what? If it's not going to be shrimp and steak, that is definitely noted. Feel free to pause and read more. Tour does involve some inclines over walking and some steps. So if you have some mobility concerns, just make a note of them. Make sure that everyone in your party agrees that this meets their needs. How about some waterfall and a village food tasting? That's a combination. $353 for an adult, $173 for kids. You got one leaving at 7:45, one leaving at 9:30 in the morning, 5 hours long. And in short, you're going to see a waterfall and then some seafood tasting. Feel free to pause and read the highlights here. This is what you will see. So if you're thinking about getting this, making that $353 investment, make sure you're getting there. If you have limited mobility in a wheelchair, it is not recommended, as a moderate amount of walking is required. Want to see the port in your ATV? Well, $403 per guest, 2 hours long, 8:30 a.m. is a departure, 11:15 a.m. is another departure. And you will see the sights that need to be seen in your own ATV. Regarding mobility concern, make sure that you see the notes here. It's not recommended. And make sure you have a valid driver's license. So that is certainly a restriction. Minimum age is 16, so that makes complete sense. Next up, how about the life and culture of this particular protocol? $163 for an adult, $83 for kids, 3 hours long, one leaving at 8:45 in the morning, one leaving at 12:15. You're going to learn about the past and the present. And in terms of the highlights, everything listed here, you will see, get some sort of experience with during this excursion. And if you have limited mobility, they are not recommending this. If you're hoping to have a drink in Iceland, you got to be 20. Some parts of Europe, it's 18, some 16. Here's 20, which is still better than the United States, which, as you know, or maybe you don't, it is 21 here. How about some Arctic foxes and avalanches? $184 for an adult, $89 for kids. Leaves at 8:45 and 12:15 in the afternoon. 3 hours long is the duration, and you will go on a site to see where avalanches occur, some Arctic foxes, and you will see the highlights listed here. The memorial where 14 people died in an avalanche. And so it's an opportunity to just be careful. And it's not recommended for folks with limited mobility, as there is a lot of walking. How about heading out to the island? Isafjordur Island, $259 for an adult, $129 for kids, 3 hours long, leaves at 8 a.m., leaves at 11 a.m., 2 departure times there. And you are going to see the items listed here. Here's the overview. So if you wanted to go to a different part of Iceland, well, there you go. Not recommended for wheelchairs. And their bird sightings may be limited. Birds are very unpredictable. Unless you're in my backyard, and you're going to have about 100 cardinals. How about the history in Haystry? $264 per adult, $129 for kids, 4.5 hours long, leaves at 8 in the morning. And if you're thinking about doing this, the items listed here is what you're going to see. Feel free to pause to read it if this is your cup of tea. And then you're going to end your day with rye bread, smoked lamb. There you go. And a pancake. Man, you talk about combination. Not recommended for limited mobility. It's a Viking thing. 9 spots left in this. $319 per adult, $159 for kids. 3 hours and 15 minutes long. Leaves at 8 in the morning. And if you're a big fan of the Viking shows or just the Viking heritage, or just want to learn more about the Viking heritage, you will see the items listed here, and finish off with a refreshing Viking beer. There you go. And again, you got be responsible. And again, it's not recommended for folks with mobility. A few more here. How about a taste of the town? $174 for an adult, $84 for kids. 3 hours long. One leaves at 8:30, one leaves at 12:30. And there's an overview of what you're going to see. In short, if your culinary delights involve your tongue, then these words here should meet your eyes' needs. And again, mobility considerations. They say don't do it. How about a rib boat for whale watching? A rapid inflatable boat, $308 per guest, $155 for kids. 2.5 hours long, one leaving at 8:30, one leaving at 11. They're going to put you on a little boat, and you're going to go out and look for whales. Those are the words that say that. And again, if you have wheelchairs, there you go. It's cold water, so just be careful with that. And animals are unpredictable, so maybe the whale will get close, or maybe you won't see one. I don't know. Seafood trail, $134 for a guest, $66 for kids, 3 hours long. One leaves at 8:30, one leaves at noon. And you're going to learn about seafood and some seafood tasting. Delight your taste buds with dried fish. There you go. So these are the things that you're going to see. And again, if you have mobility concerns, those notes are down there. They don't recommend it. Items that are sold out. How about kayaking in the fjord? $279 for an adult, 2 hours long. Minimum age is 12, maximum weight's 264. So in this particular cruise that we are looking at, June 23rd, it is sold out. But if it's not sold out on yours and you're a big kayaking person, may I suggest you book that straight away, as space is limited and it goes out. How about more whale watching? $284 for a guest, $144 for kids, 2.5 hours long. Leaves at 8:30, and you are going to go off and look at whales. This tour is not suitable for those with mobility. Life jackets provided, and it can be colder, so dress appropriately. Lastly, how about Tales of Chocolates and Foxes? I'm a big chocolate guy, not a big fox guy, but there you go. $269 for an adult, $139 per kid, 2 hours long, and you are going to learn about foxes and chocolate. So there you go. Sold out here, but maybe on your cruise it's not. So if you are going to this particular port of call, these are your shore excursions that are available. Those are the costs. I hope you found something you'd like, or at least you know that, maybe you didn't like it. You just hang out in the ship, read a good book. So until the next time, I hope you travel safely.